Hey guys, so today we're gonna get finished with this steering column and put it in the Mustang here. Now this steering column is actually a 1991 F150 steering column. I bought the whole thing complete like this. It did have a steering column lock in it, but I took off the steering wheel and some parts in there, and I really tried to unscrew everything, but I actually ended up sawing off the tumbler assembly. I'll show you some of that later. So that's one thing I had to do to make this work. And then the other thing, the end had a 1-inch double D shaft, and the steering box on this Mustang, this is a 1968 Mustang, had a 36 spline. Yeah, 36 spline to the input shaft on the steering box. So I found here you can see it right there. I found a 1-inch double D shaft to 36 spline steering universal joint, and I cut the end off that had the 36 spline, and I welded it to the end right there. I'm pointing right here. That's kind of tricky weld because it's close to the universal joint, and that has some rubber dust fitting or dust boots. So I just welded about a 3/4 inch long bead and immediately dunk the joint in water and dry it off. Did the same thing on the other side, immediately dunk it in water, and it did not damage the rubber, so that's great. And it seems like it still pivots fine. But lastly, we need to weld this bracket on so that it will fit in the Mustang. This Mustang, when I bought it, there was no steering column and no steering box and no center link. It did have the inner and outer tie rod and couplers, but they were really rusted, so I couldn't use it. And one of the spindles was missing. And so that's the reason we have a 4-lug nut wheel on the driver's side and a 5-lug nut wheel on the passenger side. But anyway, if we get this last little step done, and you already saw my tie rod welding video, we'll have all the steering finished on this car. It's going to have manual steering. And I already grind the paint off, and then I found this bracket. It's lucky this car still had this bracket, so I don't have to make anything. It just mounts with those 2 holes you see. This hole here and this hole here is a 5/16 bolt. So, okay, let's get going. All done. So let's take a closer look. It should hold right. Plenty of strength. And here's what I did earlier. Just cut through this to get the part that I wanted. Too bad they didn't sell this in the size that I needed, then I wouldn't have to do that, but oh well. See, there's just this little weld here, dunk it in water, and same on the other side. This had some, this black part had a longer black piece, so I just cut it right here. But this fits pretty well. I already test fit it, and I did a little tack weld just right here, you know, so that it won't fall off. I couldn't get to it to weld it inside the car, and also it was going to catch the carpet on fire. So, okay, let's put it in. See if we can get a good angle here, sort of. Okay. Oh, another thing. This car, it did not have the brake pedal when I bought it. So I bought that from, you know, internet, a used one. And it wasn't too much money. I think it was maybe $20, but it was the whole pedal assembly. And I got the 65 and the 66 model is one kind, and the 67 and 68. And I don't know about 69 and 70. I think maybe they're included as a different type. But since I ended up using a 66 model master cylinder, a single pot, I probably should have got the 66 or 65 model brake pedal, even though that's not what this car is. But that's okay. I got that master cylinder to fit by use a die grinder on the holes, make them slotted, and that fits alright. So really, I guess you could use whatever master cylinder you want. It would just fit the dual chamber without grinding, and then with grinding you can fit the older style. But anyway, let's put this column in. I hope it fits okay. Oh, tight fit. Oh, there it goes. Very fidgety. There we go. Straight? Everything straight? Tilt it up a little more. Hey, it's going in, yay. the trick. You have to jiggle the nut from the top when you tighten the bolt from the bottom. See if it works for the other one. Yay, it worked. Okay, almost done. This is a 5/32, so I'm going to use it to tighten the set screw, and a ½ inch for the set nut. Lock nut, I guess. Okay, now the universal joint's tight, just going to tighten the two bolts hold the column in. Wow, listen to that smooth steering. Hey, the turn signal's working. That's great. Car's almost done. Yeah, all we need is an engine, huh? Yeah, it'd be great. Well, there's a bunch of motor blocks over here. Probably all of them junk, though. Okay, till next time.